In this episode, we have our last stop in Denmark before heading out through the Kieler Canal. We get to see my aunt, who lives in Sønderborg, and my sister and her family came all the way from Copenhagen to see us one last time. The marina by the castle was crowded, but we managed to get a spot outside a really nice German guy, Henrik Heimer, and his aluminium boat, Volt. Also, the spot was in front of the best ice cream place in town. Towards the end, we set sails and do the first part of the Kieler Canal. The first day, we just explored the city for a bit and delivered all our laundry at my aunt's. She was really nice to do all the laundry for us, and it was great to see her again. The spot we had the first night was outside the aluminium boat Volt, which is designed by Henrik Heimer. We were very impressed by the boat and managed to get a chat with him to learn more about the advantages of having an aluminium boat when doing long distance sailing.
So we are in Sønderborg now, and we moored alongside a nice fellow sailor, and he has quite an interesting story. He has designed a boat built in aluminium. Why did you build a boat, and why did you build it in aluminium?
Well, we were sailing a production boat from Veneto for many years in Greece in the Med, and I always was missing some features, especially for long time cruising, like a variable draft, so we can put up the keel when we enter some nice small harbors and the towns. And many things together, also the maintenance issues, etc. So I started to think about the ideal boat for a long-term cruise. And aluminium is the best material. It's stable, it's lightweighted, and it's also easy to make individual designs with aluminium. So we started in 2016 with the plants. In 2018 we started welding the aluminium hull, and 2020, due to Corona, much delayed, we were ready for our first cruise.
So, I mean, from looking at the boat from my point of view, it looks like it's very high quality. I mean, you have chosen all the high quality components for the boat.
Yeah, the one idea was to reduce maintenance costs when cruising, because you have first costs to build the boat. They are maybe higher than using some cheap materials, but on the long term, the maintenance costs, the operational costs are much more important on a long-term cruise. And to keep that low, we try to use as the best quality for every product, like winches, etc. And this works quite well. So we have less maintenance in the future. For example, we didn't choose a TIKKI, we chose an artificial anti-slip from polyurethane. And we can clean it with a high pressure washer, so it's much easier than maintain a TIKKI, for example.
So, and if you want a boat like this, I mean, you can get the details changed. You can more or less custom build at least some of it, right?
Right. So the aluminium hull is pretty much always the same, because it's much more effort to change the plans for the hull, but the outfitting of the boat can be totally semi-custom. For example, if you want a compressor because you're a diver, you can choose a compressor to build in. It's not a problem.
I'm just thinking from our point of view. I mean, we are cruising around the world, and for people cruising around the world, this looks like a brilliant opportunity to go in a boat like this. I mean, it's very solid. You can see that it is of high quality and everything. So I mean, going around the world, this would be the optimal boat to buy.
That was our intention, to build the best possible boat for sailing around the world in maximum safety. So number one issue when we designed the boat was safety. So we have many features on on the boat, like a watertight door, etc. The whole living area is completely watertight and separated with bulkheads from the rest of the boat. So even in a worst case scenario, a storm, mast coming down, whatever, you just sit in the salon and you wait for better times. That was the idea. And number two for the design was performance, because a fast boat is much better long-term cruise, because often you have ocean passages, and if you can save a week crossing the Atlantic, it's also about safety, because you have less risks to enter storms, whatever. And number three was sustainability, so we wanted to have a modern boat that addresses also actual problems like carbon dioxide emissions and climate change, whatever, even if it's just a very small part what we can do, but we use the hybrid propulsion system, so we can go full electric for about 2 hours, and only on long motoring we need the generator. And number four was the running cost, what I already mentioned, so to reduce the maintenance costs and operational costs of the vessel.
Perfect. That, I mean, for me it has been quite interesting to see the boat, and also the thoughts about behind the boat, and I think it is so nice. I mean, should we go out and buy a new boat today, I would definitely consider this. So if you want to know more about this boat, where can you find the information?
Well, we are building a small series of this boat already. Hull number 2 is in production now, and you can find all the information on our homepage, viatormarine.com. And we have an Instagram page, also maybe you will link to it. So, and a YouTube channel with some videos about the boats. And you will. It
has been a pleasure being your neighbor for a full day here in Sønderborg. We wish you a pleasant further journey.
Thank you. Also for you.
Thank you.
On our way back from my aunt's with all the laundry, we passed a few of the monuments in Sønderborg. The Alsik Hotel opened the 6th of May 2019 and is a great addition to the city. It is designed by Henrik Larsen Architects and will be a significant landmark for the new part of the city. On the 16th floor, you get a unique overview of Sønderborg at their point of view attraction. Next to Alsik is an old silo that was renovated and is now housing the city library. For the second time on our Denmark tour, met Super Trooper, our neighbor from Ishøj, and the guy who filmed us when we sailed from Ishøj on our departure day. The world is really small. On our last full day in Sønderborg, we enjoyed the city with my family, while Flemming was getting his last shot of vaccine. We were now ready for the last big departure day, leaving Denmark. On the day of our departure, my aunt came to send us off in a good way. She brought Anton a full bag of small presents that he can open every now and then when sailing gets tough. Such a nice thing. We are going to miss all our friends and family, but at the same time we are ready to see what the world has to offer. So, big departure day here from Sønderborg. Last 20 minutes in Denmark, and then we will sail on to Germany and start our adventure around the world. Skal du også filme det? So big departure day.
It is indeed.
And you're ready?
I'm definitely ready. It has been some very nice days, but also I'm really looking forward to start the journey for real. So, I mean, considering it's probably TIKKI is probably saying goodbye to Denmark for the last time.
Yeah.
She probably won't ever get back here.
Yeah. We entered German waters and the German flag was hoisted. And for the first time in TIKKI's life, she was outside of Denmark.
So we decided not to go into the marina on the way, so we are going all the way to the Kieler Canal to Holdenau. It's actually nice weather, but there's a lot of swell out here from the past days, the past windy days. So it's, I think the little guy and Elisabeth is a little uncomfortable. But I mean, it's 1.5 hours from now, and then we'll turn into the Kieler Bay. So not too bad, and it's cold. I mean, it has been really cold today. Maybe Danish summer is over. We are now entering the Kieler Förde, the entrance to Kiel, and we are going to Holdenau. That is where the locks are, and stay overnight there, and then expect to go in the locks tomorrow. The rest of the crew woke up from their nap. They had 2 or 3 naps during the trip, but they seem to be okay. And I think we'll be in Holdenau in 40-50 minutes from now.
It is possible to stay at a waiting quay that is free of charge. So we did that for the night and entered the Kieler Canal early next morning. A queue to get through the Kieler Canal, and we're actually in front of all the other boats right now, and our neighbor is a very large container vessel. We had to hurry to get here. They only open the gate or the locks we don't even know how often they open them. But
quite random, whenever they have an empty slot where there's not any commercial vessels, so it's like you have 5 minutes to be here.
Yeah. The Kieler Canal, also called the North Ostsee Canal, is 98.6 kilometers in length and a depth of 11 meters. It runs from Kiel Holtenau in the east to Brunsbüttel in the west. It was built from 1887 to 1895 by Kaiser Wilhelm I. More than 80 million cubic meters of soil was removed by more than 9,000 workers. On average, 80 vessels are passing through the canal every day, or more than 30,000 per year. That makes the canal one of the most trafficked in the world. Using the canal saves the vessel 280 nautical miles compared to the voyage around Skov. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will mean a lot to us. And you can also follow us on Instagram. Thank you!